now. And it will
Say one.
Yep, say/1, and it will once again be Benzene, as I believe the first 3 maps are all set for the semifinals, and there is a limited map pool that you can choose from after that. And download. Complete. So, going into the game. Game 2 between Scan and Heme. And in the top right position as the red Terran, we do have Heme, also wearing his tag FR, that is his clan, I believe. And in the bottom left as the purple Terran, we do have Scan, who actually recently joined the VTV team, very talented veterans. A new clan started up by none other than Joe Kim to try and get some of the old school players back together, I think.
Wow. So on Benzene, it almost reminds me of a cross of Match Point with a little bit different design, but not too incredibly different. In fact, I almost think that some players would be able to go, okay, this is just Match Point version 2, a little bit wider open middle. It is a 2-player map, though, top right, bottom left. And still opportunities for drops, still a very positional play, but it's at the same time kind of got an odd zigzag structure to it, where you have a linear structure, at least initially, as far as the expansions go, but once you start looking at the interior, there's just essentially jutting ramps across the field. Siege tanks and dropships are going to be essential here. Absolutely incredibly vital.
Sorry to interrupt, but Heme, what is he doing? He's on 10 of 10 food, going for a 10 racks. I have never seen this build before. That's really weird. I thought, oh my god, he's going for an ultra fast factory, going for racks, refinery, and then depot. Oh man, I was going to talk about the map, but never mind. Heme doing something completely ridiculous, and there we go, going for a depot. He's going to be going for a super fast Vulture, I think, to go in and do some harassment. But yeah, I was going to say that this map basically reminds me of like a stretched out Match Point. You just kind of pull it out a little bit and add 2 bases in the middle. And by the way, I was a little bit distracted just now because apparently Except, who was a mod in my chat, somehow got banned. So somehow someone's in my chat banning mods, which is a little bit concerning for me. But yeah.
Good times. Ustream for the win. They've got a lot of good action going on. While I'm thinking about it and while we have a bit of a pause because it is a TVT, SYZ Adrenaline, big sponsor from AOV as well as Elegant and Megashira. Hackliz.net, check them out. Cause Templar, 10 bagger, owner of BTCSportsBet.com, where you can bet on these matches happening right now, as well as Alkali, or blah, blah, with the numbered name A1K1, A4K1. From Team OD, big shout out to them. I love those guys. I missed OD TMO. They've actually transitioned to StarCraft 2, so I commentate them more. But looks like we are seeing, very rapid factory as well as a Marine. But is this going to get scouted? SAV moving up, shooting the corner, has plenty of health, is going to see that very quick factory. And I think he should be able to get enough Marines to provide a solid defense on that ramp. This is still a very wide map, much wider than Match Point. So it's going to take a while for that troop position to get across the corner.
Indeed, and the scouting SCV is going to see the super fast factory. I would like to note that the factory was constructed on 11 food, incredibly fast. The factory for Scan only about halfway done right now. Actually, never mind, not going for the Vulture, going for a fast machine shop. Is that just for Vulture upgrades? I'm actually really confused what this build is. I mean, I can't imagine him making like a super fast tank or anything, right?
Super fast starport, I'm waiting for it. Want to see it.
Oh, and you are absolutely right. In the top right corner, there is a starport. Diggity calls it. Very nice.
Yeah, knowing air control is absolutely vital on this map. Wants to make sure he gets air dominance as soon as possible. Is going to take the economic hit to do so, and feel free to essentially drop in the main, perhaps with a couple vultures. I assume with some spider mines, try to sneak in that back corner and try to catch that siege tank out of position. Because if you look actually on the interior of the main as well, he can have some decent execution if he drops that bottom right hand corner. There's the Marine staging up at the front. You can just imagine a Marine and a siege tank there to the north, with some vultures dropping in that back corner. Let's see if that is in fact what he's going to field. Actually, no, it looks like he's going siege tank first. But still, yeah, very quick. Wants to get those dropships up. Wants to make sure he maintains air dominance.
And Scan playing very smartly, sending another SCV just to sit here at the front of the natural, just to see when any kind of push comes out. Looks like there will be a mini push with 2 Marines and a tank, but I believe that's just to scare Scan a little bit and also clear out the scouting SCVs. But oh my god, is the scouting SCV going to get into the main? No! Whoa, that would have been a huge blunder by Heme if that got in. And he can
that would have been absolutely disastrous.
Indeed. And
especially with this opening build. It looks like he's posturing. He's saying, okay, yeah, I'm moving out and taking a natural expansion after this, but I really do not think that you're going to see Scan be fooled by this.
Indeed, but Scan is throwing down his own command center. It's about halfway done. It looks like it's actually going to be a Wraith instead of Drop, so maybe 1-base Cloak Wraiths, like ultra-fast Cloak Wraith? Yes, indeed. Cloak is being researched now, and Scan going for 2 factories. Let's see if Scan can anticipate this and get his detection and armory up in time. There is the armory. He's going to throw down an academy as well. Doesn't quite have enough money. But I can't imagine... Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess I've never really seen this build, so I don't know whether Scan has or not, whether he can anticipate what's about to come.
The problem with opening off 1-base Wraith this quickly, this early is yes, you get a Wraith in there, but it's such a heavy investment. You have to do a lot of damage, and Wraith are not known for doing a lot of damage quickly, is really what it comes down to. So I'm curious how this will execute for Heme. It's definitely a creative build, but I don't know that it's going to pay off, is what it comes down to. And on top of it, you do have an academy in that back corner. He should be able to produce Scan. He's also getting an armory. Let's see if he produces some Goliaths as well. I'll be very curious whether this attack is successful or not.
And I would like to note a very nicely timed SCV transfer by Scan, and not only that, but he split all the SCVs to different mineral patches. Just little tricks like that give you slight edges in the game, since it does take a while for SCVs to split themselves. Now, Scan is making 2 Goliaths, and just starting his siege research. He's also got an academy going up, so he will have detection. 1 Wraith is moving along the north side of the map, along with a ground push by Heme. Now, Heme's siege research, I believe, is already finished, so he's actually going to do like a mini, it's kind of a 2-pronged attack here on the ground and in the air. But Scan, he had superior forces, but Heme has the siege, so I don't think Scan will be able to attack into that. Looks like he's actually going to go home because the Cloak Wraith is attacking his forces right now. Is he going to go and attack or go home and defend?
I actually like what Scan's doing here. He's leaving his troops here to actually take some hits while he builds Goliath in the background, and also gets his academies up and running to try to neutralize and make these Wraith a little bit less effective. He's okay taking some damage on these siege tanks just because he has a superior count. And it looks like now going to gather up the Goliath underneath, and it looks like Scan not going to realize it. Still sieging, and I actually like what he did as well to try to slow these siege tanks down. But now 2 Wraiths pounding away at these Goliaths. Still engaging middle of the map. Siege tanks on both sides. There's a Scan providing both spotting to hit those forward siege tanks and to deal with the Wraiths. Really well played by Scan.
It looks like the comp set will wear out and the Wraith will survive. Scan losing his entire army right there. Heme crushing through. However, Scan does have a significant economy advantage, not only getting the expansion up faster, but Heme did go for that really fast factory, which cut into his SCV production. Heme actually just starting his command center right now, still on 1 factory and that starport, building another Wraith. He's still not in that great a position, I would say. I mean, he did take out Scan's forces, but unless he can press the advantage and do some damage, Scan's economy and macro advantage should kick in pretty quickly.
Ooh, a little bit of a blunder there for Scan. He walked some Goliaths into some siege tanks, ended up losing them as a result. And he is positioning forward. Heme will have a degree of map control, but again, he's significantly economically behind here in the interim game, just because that natural expansion coming up so much later, and he did not do a lot of damage after a huge investment early.
Yep, and it looks like he is trying to press forward a little bit, but there is 1 siege tank by Scan. Going to try and ward it off with support of a Goliath. Looks like Heme's just going to go for it. He knows he has the unit advantage. He can actually... I don't think he should have sieged that tank. I think he should have just moved through that. The tank has died before sieging, in fact. But here we go. 3 tanks actually being repaired by 2 SCVs. Only 1 tank is there for Scan. Scan pulling all of the SCVs from his natural. But even if he defends that, he can't do anything against these Wraiths right now. He's got no anti-air on the ground. What is he making? He's making another tank. He actually is not even making a Goliath. What is he going to do about these Wraiths? No, never mind. He went for 2 starports of his own. I did not see that. Going for Wraiths of his own to counter the Wraiths of Heme, but he's in a lot of trouble. He's getting sieged down. He's sending out SCVs. SCV is pretty good in close combat, but 1 tank getting trapped by by Heme's own SCVs, rather. 1 tank remaining, actually being repaired and attacked by SCVs. This is actually a ridiculous battle going on right here.
Wow, I gotta say, kudos to Heme with a really creative opening, actually bringing SCVs to help group prepare those Marines as well. But now, natural expansion up for Heme still isn't saturated. He needs to build up on that economic lead right this second, get all those raids to just completely clear that to get back in this match. Siege tanks moving up, still nothing to counter it here. Wow, and it looks like Heme, with a very creative opening. And I gotta say, I think SCVs were vital in that mid-map. It looks like he might be able to win the match.
Indeed, Scan looks like he's waiting for the second 2 wraiths to come out. Once those do pop, he will have 4 wraiths against Heme's 3. However, Heme does have Cloak, but Scan should be able to scan it. Yes, indeed, Scan scans it and goes in with his 4 wraiths, immediately sniping one. Heme sees what's going down, runs away. Scan definitely needs to lift his command center. He does lift it, so his own wraiths looks like they will be able to take out these tanks of Heme. Meanwhile, what just happened? Oh, it looks like Heme lifted his natural command center and placed it like a mile away from his minerals. I don't know what just happened there. Looks like he wanted to make a comsat and just put it in the completely wrong position. Do you see this command center?
Wow. And that's going to hurt a lot because that command center is that comsat station is actually blockading, I think, where he would want to land otherwise. So now he's distance mining it as natural, okay, canceling it, realizing it, and he's going to lift off and replant. Oof. So all of his gains perhaps lost it a little bit here in the mid game. Also going to end up losing this barrack in open field. And I think having lost all of his wraiths, actually, never mind, he has 1 wraith returning home. He might have lost map control as well.
Yeah, and if we look at the food count, it's currently 49 food for Scan against only 40 food for Heme. So Scan seems to have defended that and stabilized somewhat, and now has double starports of his own pumping, going for Tank Wraith. Pretty scary unit composition. Instead of going, pretty much the alternative to Goliath Tank Dropship is going for pretty much pure tank Wraith. Heme actually throwing down a second starport of his own, so he's going to try and match Scan's Wraith count, but however Scan doing some harassment in the back of Heme's natural. I don't know what Heme can do about this. His main advantage right now is his cloak, but Scan will definitely be saving up his scans. I don't know why I giggle every time I say that. I am so immature. But there we go, once Cloak Wraith, 2 Cloak Wraiths, gonna get scanned, it's gonna get taken down.
Oh, this is unfortunate because after that, oh wow.
No GG!
Oh my goodness.
Heme
gotta be frustrated.
Yeah.
There were multiple points where he could have easily won that match, and still great composure from Scan to finish that off. That's really got to be frustrating, and completely losing composure, not GGing, just exiting the game straight. Oh, this is going to be scary going into this next match. Let's see if he can recover mentally.
Yeah, he's definitely tilting right now. I mean, he was in a great position there, attacking Scan's natural, and then he just did made a couple of mistakes. I mean, embarrassingly putting that command center in a really ridiculous location. I mean, they know these games are gonna get streamed, and so everyone's gonna see it. So that must be pretty embarrassing, I guess. But no shame there. We understand it's a pretty big match, Heme.